What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining me. This is Jay Dumas bringing you episode 4 of this little Let's Nerd with Adam RPG. So the first few videos got a few likes, which was cool. So I decided to make another video. Vagrants were walking down the road, drinking and feasting. So in the last episode we got Fidel. He's quietly whistling some tune to himself. As he notices you want to talk to him about something, he nods. Do you have any advice regarding our task? I forgot what we are doing. We should thoroughly explore the bunker 317. There's bound to be some clues there that will help us in our further investigation. Alright, let's do this then. And wasn't there something... Married drunk who calls him Vysotsky the Navigator last time slaps himself on the thigh as he sees you. My future benefactor. What, you've come to see the respectable pensioner, veteran Vysotsky the Navigator dancing, earning his nightly vodka as a jester for the cheering crowd? 10 rubles per dance. No, I've come to talk. A conversation, yuck, won't polish the sides of the unsinkable navigator, but we can chat, surely. Once we become friends, then you'll pay me for my talent. What do you want to know, matey? Where's the best booze in town? Do you know the chemical formula of alcohol? If it's in the drink is fine by me. And by the way, those who are too picky about booze and turn their nose up for methanol-based drinks weren't allowed into the army in olden times, just like the flat-footed. Bloody connoisseurs, my god. Alright, we talked to him already. Alright, so we're here in Krasno-Znameni. Young bearded member of the local militia follows you with his gaze, all while sighing for some unknown personal reasons. His assault rifle hangs from a belt colored by camo pattern. Life of a cop has its kicks, as long as you're okay getting up around 6. How's life in the city, if I may ask? Pretty well. Krasno-Znameni is getting bigger every day. A few days ago we uncovered a pre-war building project. Now the people are scrapping it for resources. This means the outskirts of the town will grow even more. What sort of interesting places can I visit in the city? There's a lot of those. A bookstore, many traders whose items fit for any need. There's a tavern, a gambling house, even a brothel. And if you're of the superstitious stock, there are even activities meant for you. What do the people gossip about? Talk about everything. Many a thing go down in the wasteland each day. Speak to the people yourself if you're interested, comrade. I'll do that. Cultists. The young woman standing in front of you is rather attractive, but there's something repellent about her. Her troubled, restless, somewhat wild gaze, strange manners, and unnatural serene smile on her frozen face. As she sees you, the woman makes a gesture you've never seen before with 2 fingers of her right hand and lowers her head. Those weren't your feet, but Mother Cosmos that brought you together today with the Saint Martyr for the truth. Varna Bhavani Devi Christu. In the name of the sitting wolf, I often teach lessons of the utopian religious anarchy in this town, in spite of the hypocrites pushing me away. You must have heard my speech. Tell me, servant of God, did I manage to convince you that my authority is false? But this knowledge didn't bring him love and happiness in life. Unloved, lame, unloved, lame. I am Priestess Varna Banana Devi Christu. Thank you very much. I didn't hear the speech. Hello, travelers, come closer and listen to the wisdom of the ancient boards and runes. The big city of Krasno-Znameni is standing here like an ancient Moloch, but the foundation is weak. One of its legs is a pig leg, another one is a mushroom leg, the third one is barely alive, and instead of the fourth it has a vile snake. I am Priestess Varna. Thank you very much for your attention. The one who is looking for more power for himself has a pig sleeping by his side in a stone bunker. Boot out anyone who's trying to control you by word or by action. People are no kettle, they shouldn't walk under the shepherd's crook. Worship only Varna Divina Christu, for she is the mistress. Rulers turn you into sheep, but in the eyes of Devi Christu you are all God's lambs. The severe Stalin sent his army far west and found there a puddle into which the sun sets every night. But this knowledge didn't bring him love and happiness in them. Alright, I heard your speech. Tell me, servant of God, did I manage to convince you that any earth authority is false? I don't know. Somehow I haven't made my mind up yet. All you managed to say is somehow I haven't before your interlocutress finishes the sentence for you. Made up your mind. You haven't made up your mind. Is that what you wanted to say, child? Your mind said it faster than your lips did, but the great musician Varna knows the hidden things. Isn't it obvious skill of telepathy not enough for you to trust my worldview completely? That was clear as day how my sentence would end. Even a hedgehog would have guessed it. You shouldn't be laughing at that. Hedgehogs are natural-born yogis. Have you seen the balls they roll into? And now that I've distracted your attention from the essence of the complaint, the unusual woman turns to the public. Dear friends, Varna Banana, a miracle worker and fortune teller, is leaving you to enlighten the Ochinoy village. Thank you for your faith in me. With a commanding hand movement, she summons her associates and they all leave together. Yeah, what strange people. Going to Ochinoy. Hey. You're still staring after these five when a surprisingly well-dressed man with a clean haircut approaches you. He stands next to you and places his hands akimbo on his hips. Did you see that? That's the sort of people who are roaming the wastelands these days. Squint your eyes at the man. Right, and who are you? Oh, how impolite of me. I wanted to offer you a job, an opportunity to make some money, but I completely forgot how to introduce myself. The man turns and gives you a big smile. My name is Igor, and I represent a scientific charity called Mycelium, or, as our enemies nicknamed us, the Mushroom Cult. We, however, are anything but a cult. Nice to meet you, Igor. The man nods amicably. What is your name, if you don't mind me asking? I don't mind. My name is... Igor's looking with genuine interest. Matthew. Very nice to meet you. You've got a great name. True that, but I recall you mentioned an opportunity to make some money. The man comes close to you. Unlike most wasteland dwellers, he doesn't stink of body odor, alcohol, or even more unpleasant substances. He only smells of clean clothes and a bit of road dust. The thing is, I've been following the activities of this so-called Devi Christu for a long time, and the conclusions I've drawn are rather grim. We're dealing with the leader of a potentially very dangerous cult. Continue to listen. You look like someone who knows how to behave in the wasteland, so I'd like to offer you to follow these cult members a while to find out whether they really are dangerous. Well, it sounds simple enough. How exactly should I be following them? Well, before you say anything else, what am I going to get for it? Money, items needed for your further journey, food, anything you want. It will depend on the results of your investigation. Alright, you convinced me. How exactly should I be following them? As far as I know, Devi Christu and her disciples are on a small tour around the wasteland. She's determined to find some new poor souls who will believe her dubious sermons. Right now they're on their way to a small village of Ochinoy. Intercept her there and learn about their further plans. Alright, I'll try to do that. Great. Once you've got enough information, come back to me. Anyway, if you have any questions about our organization, don't hesitate either. Just approach me. I'm nearly always standing here in the suburb of Krasnozameni. Alright. Ooh, man. A lot of buildings here. It's the power plant. So what exactly do we have to do here in Krasnozameni? Need to talk to Alexander Sablin in the trade house bunker. Trader Yashin needs to be talk to his former colleagues in the Chamber of Commerce. Bring someone a copy of Lord of the Rings. Alright. May I enter, sir? You see a tall, strong man in heavy armor and a Ushanka hat. He turns to you while simultaneously grabbing an automatic rifle hanging from his neck. Well, 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 the entrance to the city costs 30 rubles. It's a fee. Where does this fee come from? Who came up with charging people for entrance? Who? Our bosses, that's who. Sure you don't think that any street rat can freely walk into our city. The guard gives you an angry look. Suddenly he blinks as if I've noticed something important about you. His eyes suddenly widen as he quickly steps back from you. He looks genuinely, or at least it seems so, terrified. Oh my. How come I didn't notice it straight away? You have Krasnov syndrome. No way. I can't let a sick man into the city. Epidemic is the last thing we need. This whole Krasnov syndrome is just a rumor. There's no such thing. No. What are you saying? It must be the fever talking. But don't you worry. We'll figure out how to help you. It'd be good for you to get some help from the city hospital, but I can't let you in just like that. The man pretends to think really hard, then a mischievous grin appears on his weather-beaten face. Oh, I do have a kind heart. Well, I'll let you pass, but for 1,000 rubles. Are you for real? Where would I have this much money from? It's obvious that the guard hasn't taken your words seriously. A mocking expression appears on his face. Well, isn't that a great question? I don't know, but I feel like you of all people should be able to make this kind of money. We need to get to the city, right? Of course you do. I'll be honest with you. Right now, even killing a man costs less. It's obvious the guard hasn't taken your words seriously. I'm unaware of the prices on that market. It's not my scene, so stop feeding me lies. You of all people should be able to find a way to make 1,000. I'll be back. I guess we're not getting into Krasnozameni. And I don't think these areas are very fruitful for me right now. Alright, so what we could try to do is discuss tactics. Of course, right now, for example, I'm energetically running across the war zone, chasing the enemy and behaving in an exceptionally heroic way. This is where your tactical error lies, mate. We must keep close to each other. Dios mio, Matthew. I always tell you that's our best tactic. This is how we're going to do it then. Alright. Can I ask you a few questions? What is your interest in, amigo? How's the development of the local community going? We muddled through. Before, when we still had public votes, when there was less bureaucracy, one could promote an idea. The restoration of the TV tower, that was my project. Now, however, Fidel winces, displeased. Things are more complicated now. A couple of years ago, the Chamber of Commerce had a sort of nervous breakdown. They began to look for our people, the members of Atom, everywhere. They flipped out so badly that they distanced themselves from ordinary citizens. One man even got hanged. The sad irony is that he wasn't even one of ours. He just got unlucky. I see. What's the general attitude towards Atom here? The ordinary citizens in their majority don't even believe in the organization's existence. And those who do believe in some ridiculous legends. We're not threatened by that. The local authority, the Chamber of Commerce, on the other hand, I think they're suspecting something. Their attitude towards us is very tense. It is understandable, though. Think about it. You're empowered like a king or god himself, but somewhere there's an organization that has enough weapons, resources, and manpower, and it's a secret. It's clear that they fear Atom, and they might be right to do so. What do you think about Krasnozameni? This town is more dangerous than it looks, Matthew, and it looks very dangerous. There's such big fish here that will swallow us whole effortlessly. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's check our journal again. Alright, so I guess we're heading back to Otradnoy. How much time do we have until the attack on Otradnoy? Can't give you an exact answer, but so far the slave owners have been busy with the feud between each other. Perhaps they're trying to decide which one will lead the attack. Alright, so there's an attack on Otradnoy coming. Last seen there, Otradnoy. Alright, we've got to get out of here. I don't think we should waste any time or we'll lose Otradnoy, but if I do come in different houses... Locked. Maybe I can find some different people. This guy again. Could you please tell me a bit about your Cole Scientific Society? Oh, with pleasure. What would you like to know? 4 principles on which our ideology is based, or perhaps the history of our society? Tell me about the 4 principles. With pleasure. These are the unity principle, the modesty principle, the love principle, and the life principle. Which are you interested in? The love principle. Help the people around you not out of vanity or pride. Help others as you would help yourself. Love the humankind, and through that, love yourself. Only moving as one like that can we achieve the development. Life principle. Let your death not frighten you, as death of one is not a threat to the whole. Instead, be afraid of the deaths of other people, as that's what kills the whole. Unity. All of us people, regardless of our differences, must feel as if we're part of a single organism, the humankind. Just like different body parts don't fight between themselves, the same we must discard our lowly disagreements that have almost destroyed us, and move as one towards the development. Modesty. When you find yourself on top, don't be proud or ashamed. On the contrary, help the people around you to reach your level. Help the weak become stronger and don't exploit their weakness. Only moving as one like that can we achieve the development. The history of your organization. The Mycelium Society was created by a group of scientists from faraway lands back at the dawn of the new time. They founded the Unity House in one of the abandoned buildings of Krasnozemeni, after which they left us. Sometimes they visit us, but I think they're guided by some great plan, the detail of which I haven't been told yet. Nevertheless, I believe that one day we'll all understand it. I'm looking forward to that moment with all my heart. What is this Unity House? Ah, that's what we call our headquarters, but we don't call it as often as it sounds a bit long. The Unity House is situated in an old scientific research institute in the center of Krasnozemeni, across the Chamber of Commerce. What does your organization do here in brief? Guided by the modesty principle, we are doing a lot of charity work. We aid the helpless, feed the hungry, give the disadvantaged roof over their heads, and of course we enlighten people about the greatness of the path to the development. Go on, tell me about this development path. The development path is the path of the whole humankind as a unified, immortal organism. Immortal not because nothing can kill it, but because it isn't killing itself. The development path is the everlasting strive for the eternity that has always guided the humankind. It is the power that makes us reach for the stars and further on into the unknown. The development path is an insane dream, but I saw the furious get humble and the cruel cry. I know this dream is not that insane after all. I have faith. That's too much information today. I better go. Alright, so I guess maybe we should go in some of these houses and see what's going on. Oh, this guy looks interesting. So let's see what he or she has to say. In the dim lit place, you don't immediately notice a dark-skinned, thin woman leaning over a crystal ball that's glowing from the inside. Slowly the woman takes her gaze away from the crystal and raises her eyes full of mystery at you. She takes her time to speak. Her voice is deep and a bit husky. Another traveler dared to visit the enchantress and clairvoyant fortune-teller Sarah. Are you brave enough to learn your future? You'll receive a priceless advice about what you need to do to win the favor of Mistress Fortune, or perhaps you want to purchase amazing lucky charms. Wait, perhaps you could answer a few more trivial questions. Alright then, ask your questions, traveler, but by asking them you are also giving answers. Remember that. How do you like telling fortunes in Krasnosameni? Ah, there's no more point to make it a secret, handsome. They don't let me into the town. They suffocate me with taxes. The big cheeses in the Chamber of Commerce detest my trade. What can I do? I make money with the talents I have. I see. Can I learn to foretell the future? Would you like to? I'm sorry, but this talent only passes woman to woman in my family. Strangers simply can't figure out this intricate and mysterious art. Talent, yeah, right. Tell me about your lovely town. Ah, handsome, I wish you knew what a dark place you just called a lovely town. Krasnosameni was built on an ancient burial ground. It's been cursed since its founding. Yeah, what curse is that? The fortune teller sighs and beckons you closer. My mother told me about it, and my grandmother told her, and she heard it from my great-grandmother, and so on. The thing is, the city's founder, Count Rovsky, built it in a place where there once was an ancient dolmen. In it were the remains of bronze weapons and some ancient warriors. The locals warned the Count not to disturb the bones, but he turned out to be too hot-headed. He didn't listen to the wise old man and built his town where he intended to. As for the dolmen, he ordered to disassemble it and move it to the capital. However, it never reached the capital. The story goes that the skeletons came alive in the carts, grabbed their swords and axes, and slaughtered all the soldiers that were transporting them, and the town has been cursed ever since. Anyone who dies in it can't pass away in peace. They roam the earth like ghosts and echoes of distant memories. Wow, some stories you have. What are the rumors in the area? I've heard that there's a fight for power in Paragon. If any of its authorities came for me for magical help, this squabble could have put an end to. Of course. I'm interested in your services, Sarah. As if out of thin air, the fortune teller gets an array of strange trinkets in her hands. Her eyes are sparkling in the darkness of the room. Fortune telling, lucky charms? Make your choice. Our whole life is a continuous choice. Tell my fortune, Gypsy. I'm curious. First, cross my palm with silver, for my fortune-telling powers are telling me you might run away without paying. It's 20 rubles. I see, here's the money. You hand the money to Sarah, the fortune-teller. A moment later, you only blink once and the money is gone from your hand, while the woman is already studying your palm with interest. You've got such an interesting story here, handsome. I see a beautiful young woman. I see you marry her. You make her a queen. So many kids are born. I see. What else can you tell me? Give me another 20, borrow. Cross my palm with silver. Alright, here's the money. Give the woman more money. What a beautiful palm. I see you met your sworn enemy. You'll have a battle, but you'll be victorious. I guess you tell this to all your clients. Gypsy flinches and looks at you with dissatisfaction. Why do you say that? Don't you know that magic doesn't work on those who think and doubt too much? Not bad magic, but good one too, by the way. Alright, sorry, I overreacted. Instead of answering, the woman only purses her lips, offended. If you don't like the idea of learning about your future, then why don't you go to that crook who shows Lenin's mummy? He's the talk of the suburbs. It's to him everyone comes these days. What, are you being strangled by the competition? The fortune teller nods reluctantly. If only you knew to what extent, Bardo. I can't catch my breath. Before, our people would come to me, and now travelers only visit this Denito. Alright, maybe I can help you with this somehow. Indeed, eh? My recent card reading wasn't in vain. The cards foretold that a kind Gajo would come and help me with my misfortune. Gypsy looks at you cunningly and comes a bit closer. You instinctively place your hands in your pockets. Listen, handsome, call his bluff. He can't have a real mummy. I'm never going to believe that. What are you going to give me for it? Haven't you heard, handsome? Greed becomes an idiot's downfall. I will pay you. Word of a gypsy. But first do the job. Sure, no problem. I'll check it out. Ah, thank you, handsome. I don't really know how you're going to do it, but you are so clever. I bet you'll think of a way. Definitely. Oh, I wanted to guard her and see her lucky charms. Oh, you have to have intellect less than 4 for those. Condom. Valuable thing to have if you don't want to be a wasteland bachelor but don't fancy any STDs. Alright, so we've got some work to do here in the suburbs. This game is freaking huge. The doors are locked. Whoops. Mummy, eh? Who do I go to see? Someone here? Excuse me. Are you the guy with the mummy? Frowns, her eyes stay closed. Scratches in her sleep. Then I will take your canned meat. So who's got the mummy? It's gotta be one of these houses that are locked. Let's see if unlocking them is a crime. Come on, Fidel. We have work to do. Where are we? Oh, I'm encumbered. Well, that's not good. Guess we'll eat the canned meat. But I ate the canned meat. How about I drop a tin can? There we go. I could rest until day. Oh, it wasn't locked. $10 potatoes. Not bad. Catch the thief! What? I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Fidel. Stop. What? I didn't thief anything. What happened? Even Fidel started beating me up. Oh man, I lost all that progress because I didn't quick save. Well, let's just burn through this really fast. Alright, so we're back to where we were. Not too bad. Alright, so I guess you can't go in people's houses after dark? Is that how it works? Or is it because I looked on the shelf of the potatoes? Just want to make sure. Alright. You can't be in the house at all. Alright, man, make it quick. Alright, so I learned the hard way twice. Alright, so apparently there's going to be an attack on Atronoi. Wonder if I should I can't read that. Wait here until the morning. It's midnight, or head back to Atronoi. Can't rest while you're hungry. First you need to eat something. Oh, let's go get that. Oh, maybe they called me a thief because I took the canned meat. No. Do. Hello, gunner. Who's on patrol? Just in here to take some canned meat. Nobody saw me do it. I'm encumbered again. Alright, we'll check out this town in the daylight. Let's talk to some folks. Alright, the bearded guy. What do the people gossip about? Oh, we heard all that from him. Hello. Before you stands a small woman with a pointy face. Her greasy hair's in a thin knot in the back of her head. Her eyes look wet. Hey, can I ask some questions? What questions? Ask away, but do it quickly. How's life? Oh, we live just great. So great it sometimes seems better to go hang yourself or jump into a hole in the ground than live this marvelous life of ours. Take my husband, for example. He has an uglier mug than yours. He started drinking, and then kids, they scream all the damn time. They're hungry. I think it'll be better off if they just die. Hate them all. Okay. Tell me about yourself. Oh, you want to take me as your wife, huh? Nope, I'm not telling about myself to any traveling hobo. You go and chat up some sluts. They'd be the more fitting company for someone like you. Look at you, asking about my life. Who do you think you are? Ivan Bigaloff. The Chrysopole Gigolo? Whoa, stay calm. It's new in town. In the city? Haha, nice joke. It's not even city, it's a dump. A rotten dump and a pigsty. Nothing new can ever happen here. I don't even want to think about it. And about all its people. All those bums and retards, I mean. Yikes. Heard any good rumors lately? The gals say there's some pervo on the loose. A sexual predator, you know. You must be him. With that ugly muggy ears, you look like a retard. I see. I should go. Friendly sorts around here. Not. So now can we go see the mummy? Serbia is strong. Well, hello there. Before you stands a young skinny woman with tired eyes and long pale hands. Upon seeing you, she gives you a nod. Hello. Hello, ask away. How's life around here? It's not too bad. There's strength in numbers, you know. It's a nice enough city, constantly developing and all that. There's a lot of work to be done all around, though. Yep, that's about it, I guess. Sure, tell me about yourself. What can I tell you about myself? Well, my name's Tanya. I live here with my mother. She's gotten very old and has many infirmities, especially this year. She nags me all the time to find a husband, says I'm getting old. Soon to be 30. But how will she live if I marry someone? She won't cope without me, and I won't ever leave her because of it. Suitors are always easy to find. Some days I go to the dance hall, and there's tons of guys asking me for a dance. It's new in town. News, huh? Well, say, do you like music? Our tech whiz from the dance club crafted some speakers. A speaker for each of the four corners of the hall. Now you can dance there surrounded by music, you know, from all sides. It's so good you never want to stop. Heard any good rumors? I heard some nut jobs settled in the sewers. It's dry down there now, since we don't have everyone who'd like to become a plumber. Some boys who went down there said all the walls of the pipes are covered in weird, rude drawings. And the creep himself, he started spying on the city girls. If a girl's walking near the sewer entrance wearing a skirt, this bastard is right there, eyeing her, make whistling sounds. What a creepo. I see. I should go. An old street traveler with a toothless mouth mumbles under her breath, inviting people to come to her counter, and carefully flies away from food laid out neatly. As she sees you, she narrows her eyes cunningly. Son, dear, don't pass by. Help the old woman. Buy something. You give me a discount? What do you mean, son? These are discount prices. Could you answer a few questions? Sure, son. I don't mind talking. Tell me about Krasnozameni. Oh, the city isn't what it used to be. Before the war, it was such a nice place, so quiet. And now it's just terrible. Creeps me out, too. How's life here, mother? Hard, son. Since my husband, passed away, it's been intolerable. Kids have scattered all over the place. Grandchildren never come to visit. It's not life, it's survival. So I sell stuff while I still can. Sounds terrible. Where do you get the goods? Something I grow in my garden, something buy and then resell. I work while I still have some strength left, and when it's over, I'll die, I suppose. What else will there be left for me to do? Doesn't sound too optimistic. Have you heard any interesting rumors? There's some old man in the suburbs who mumbles about some criminals all the time. He says there's some huge gang that moves here, scares people for no reason. They are gangsters everywhere. Not a single one has yet reached Krasnozameni. Alright, you've got food. Apple. Onion. Canned meat is good. Corn. No, I don't want to be over encumbered. Adios, woman. Who are all these people? And none of these houses I can go in. Well, hello there. Before you stands a bony, middle-aged woman. She looks around with suspicion and constantly wipes her weathered, sunburnt linen dress. Hello, can I ask you some questions? Huh, what? Right, how How's life around here? We live, we work, yep, we work all the time, and when we don't stand in lines or help our relatives with money or hold places in lines for others, there's a huge deficit, don't you know? Anyway, we live like all the rest. If we didn't, those demons would swallow us alive. Tell me about yourself. I'm just a simple woman. I keep the house. Nobody else would. Everything is on my shoulders, don't you know? If I can get bored, if I can get bread, if I can get some meat, even dog meat, we could live another day, and it's okay. As long as I hurry, everything will be just fine. What's new in town? Oh, all sorts of stuff. You can buy some sour milk at a bargain price from one of my pals. They also say one official from the Chamber of Commerce started drinking, so now you can bribe them with good alcohol. Another thing is someone recently found a partially built house near our city. I already asked my husband to go there and search it for anything valuable. Everything helps, don't you know? Any good rumors? I heard a great way to dispose of lice. You need to bury all your clothes, leaving only one tiny part out of the ground. After a day, all those hateful insects will gather on this tiny thread. What a rumor, right? I can't wait to see if it's true. I see, I should go. You feel weak and keep on vomiting. The time of your recovery is getting longer. I don't know how to recover from that. Are you the mummy man? Short, disheveled man standing at the entrance to a shed. His eyes are darting from side to side. As he sees you, the man slaps himself on the knee and blurts out with fake enthusiasm. Hello, mister. Did you come to take a look at the Pearl of Krasnozemeni? Today, only for you, in this room, we have a real-deal mummy of the father of the world proletariat, our comrade Lenin. I've heard that Moscow was bombed to smithereens, so how did the mummy remain intact? Oh, it's a long and entertaining story. I can tell it to you inside. To a true connoisseur like yourself, I'm ready to show this unique, historic, captivating sight for a mere 15 rubles. Amigo, he's a common crook. He's just taking advantage of that the people in the wasteland have become completely uneducated. Hey, no one needs your opinion. An educated man, my ass. I have trouble believing that's the real Lenin lying there. The man turns dark red, and now his skin color almost matches that of his tangled beard. Why so? I've no reasons to lie. If you don't believe me, come in and check it out for yourself. All I ask is to not touch the money and not to take flash photos. Here's the money. Show me Lenin. You hand the money to the man, who greedily licks his lips, and bowing subserviently, he lets you inside the house. In we go. I'm a walking encyclopedia of Lenin's life. You bend over Lenin in his sarcophagus, which looks like a very ordinary coffin. The mummy doesn't react. Watch the mummy closely. You seem to notice the mummy's breast rising a little, as if Comrade Lenin is breathing. This is, to put it mildly, slightly odd, as he's been dead for at least 80 years. Sniff the mummy. Surprisingly, the mummy reeks of alcohol, cheap tobacco, and onion. You narrow your eyes suspiciously. This is not the appropriate smell for the precious father of the Russian revolutions. Step back from the mummy. Listen, buddy. The man beckons you with his finger and proudly places his fist on his hips. Ask me even the trickiest questions. Tell me about life of Vladimir Lenin. Sure thing. What about exactly? Well, let's say his childhood. The future leader of the Comintern was born in the town of Ulyanovsk, now known as Simbursk, in the family of a state councilor, Alexandra Ulyanova, and a mighty bear hunter, Ilya Blank. In his childhood, Lenin took part in one of his father's expeditions to the far north, where he personally shot a giant bear with a crossbow. This is utter nonsense. The names and titles are all wrong. Everything's wrong. Everything is very much right. I rely exclusively on the latest discoveries of historians. Tell me about his youth. His youth Lenin spent hiding from the Royal Guard in a Finnish survival shelter on the shores of the Baltic Sea. During that time, he managed to read Marx's Capitalism, as well as meet his future wife, Tatanya Krupskaya, in the World War I trenches in Verdun. Oh Lord, that's complete and utter nonsense. Not at all. It's the truth that's been kept secret from regular people for a long time. Tell me about his mature, revolutionary years. Ah yes, after Tsars Gendarmes executed Vladimir Ilyich's brother, Alexander III, he arrived at the starving Leningrad in an armored car and in December started the Great October Revolution. During it, the new economic policy was implemented. Kerensky was defeated and political prostitute Trotsky was exiled. The rest is history. I'm not kidding. I'm in physical pain from listening to this stream of lies. There's not a drop of lie here, just a slight exaggeration perhaps. Let's change the subjects. Tell me how you got his mummy. Oh, it's a long and entertaining story. Could you be more specific, please? How'd you receive it from destroyed Moscow? Have you heard of the secret Moscow underground tunnels of the KGB? The thing is, apart from everything else, I was an agent in this organization, and so had access to the tunnels. When the first bombs fell, the first thing I did was to drag our respectable comrade Lenin through these tunnels. Another question. How'd you deliver it to Krasnozameni? During the Great Migration to the south, I transported the mummy, claiming it was my friend and disguising the leader's true identity under the glasses with a fake nose and a long wig. Vladimir Ilyich was so well preserved that all the people we met on our way were convinced he was alive, just not very talkative. Of course. How do you keep it preserved? The thing is, a special balsamic vinegar is used in the embalming process. It's made of grape must, and that's one of the goods still sold by some of the traders traveling from the south. That's what keeps the mummy in such perfect condition. Is that so? To hell with it, let's change the subject. Tell me about Lenin's heroic feats. There were great feats in the life of Lenin, apart from the revolution. His victory over a monstrous Myrmik, a single-handed building of the Stalin skyscraper, and the taming of the bloodthirsty Fanny Kaplan. Tell me about the victory over a monstrous Myrmik. In the memorable year of 1917, the dwellers of Petrograd were terrorized by a horrendous giant Myrmik, this monstrous ant that reached the size of an elephant due to an effective radiation chamber of the eccentric zoology professor Vladimir Ipatevich Persakov, tormented citizens who were suffering already as it was. It ate the buckwheat harvest and caused hunger in the Volga region. But Lenin wasn't taken aback by it. He dragged a log to the Myrmik's lair, carved it into a steak, and put the monster's favorite food, buckwheat porridge, on its very tip. When the hungry Myrmik rushed to eat the porridge, he impaled himself on the steak. Myrmiks only appeared recently after the war. What are you even talking about? It wasn't a modern-day Myrmik, but a Myrmik from back then. The result of an experiment got wrong at the Red Ray State Farm. Tell me about the building of the Stalin skyscraper. One day, Comrade Stalin decided to build, a skyscraper in the center of Moscow. But since the general electrification hadn't yet reached the city of Kazan, the all-USSR's garner of the particularly sturdy alloys, this idea of his was, so to speak, put on hold. It was once again Lenin who suggested the right solution. Let's use the granite from the quarry on the Neva Quay to build it, said the leader. And it turned out he was right. During the next Stakhovenite 5-year plan, a real skyscraper was built in Moscow. They began building these high-rises after Lenin's death. Not to mention everything else you said wrong. Well, after Lenin's death, they simply began building them in big quantities, while the first experimental one was built in the times of our dear chief. So how did Lenin tame Fanny Kaplan? On July 29th, at the factory named after Vladimir Ilyich, the mean right-wing socialist revolutionary Fanny Royd, aka Kaplan, attacked our dear father, Comrade Lenin. Without any warning, she stabbed Lenin, who was working at the factory, in his heart with a knife covered in curare poison. But her plan didn't work out. Right over his heart in his chest pocket, Lenin carried his party membership card. The knife of the evil-minded right-wing socialist revolutionary Fanny Royd, more known as Kaplan, bounced from it and stabbed her right in the eye, which caused her to turn into a green bubble mud the very next moment. Your story is so far from the truth that even a person who knows nothing about history would have been terrified by it. Exactly, not a historian, a pathetic amateur would be terrified, but you and I are serious people who know and respect history. Change the subject. Tell me about yourself, mister. Oh, I haven't introduced myself? I'll amend it this very moment. Great Anatoly at your service. A showman, as they used to call it in the West. An amateur historian with a philology degree from the V.A. Stetkov University, as well as your humble guide to the maze of Comrade Lenin's life. Try me. Well, so far it's as clear as it is. Save. Alright, so it's a day later. It's Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm back here. I'm going to examine this mummy. I'm going to tickle the mummy. You raise your fingers over the corpse, but the warden of the tiny museum jumps up on his chair and rushes to stand between you and your target. No, you can't touch the exhibit. For a second, it looks as if Lenin's mummy sighs with relief. Rummage in the mummy's pockets. You cast a side look at the scruffy warden who follows your every movement. Still, even a superfluous glance is enough to see the mummy's pockets are empty, except for the one which reveals a bottleneck. Alright, this is a scam, so how do I expose the scam? Watch it closely again. Tickle him again? No. So how do I put this guy out of business? Well, it's so interesting to learn about Lenin's life. So it's obvious he's a living dude. Who's this guy? Oh. Pocket. I don't get it. Who are you, shirtless man? A shy, small young man walks around the street. When he sees you, he turns to you and extends his hand. You grab it without thinking too much and almost cry out. The palm of the man's hand is cold, sweaty, and clammy. Adam Blinovich, head of the Victim Society for the Victims of Dog Veselov, the infamous medium and pseudoscientist. You are a victim as well? No, you're not. You don't even look like a victim. So why are you here? Who's Dog Veselov and who are his victims? The man suddenly covers his face with his hands and sneezes. When he puts his hand back in his pocket, you notice they are now covered in green boogers and smelly slime. With a voice that would make anyone fall asleep, he drones on. Who is Dog Veselov? Everyone knows Dog Veselov where I'm from. He is a right bastard. He created this pseudo-scientific theory and we are its victims. There are so many. I get one new member each month. What was the theory? The theory was this: every person is made out of 7 characteristic or stats, like strength, dexterity, luck, and so on. Each stat is equal to a certain number 1, almost absent, to 11, very strong. He then developed a set of exercises, meditations, and spiritual practices that could make your stats grow or change. Tons of people started practicing his teachings. Everyone wants to be strong and fast nowadays, right? But what he didn't warn us about is that if you grow one stat, you lower the others. This is why I can now do this. The man takes several small objects like soap, dried bread, some keys, and bottle caps out of his pocket and starts juggling them with amazing dexterity. Even though what he does is beyond most humans, you feel bored as you watch him. See how agile I am? But that agility cost me my charisma. Now my wife has left me, saying she's afraid to die of boredom. My friends tell me I make them feel depressed and ignore me. Also, I look creepy and sound like a robot. Oh God. Hey, I know. I'll go get that doc and make him fix you. What? Why would you think we need any help? Doc Veselov is actually long dead. Some of the folks he made strong by turning them mentally retarded. Tore him to pieces way back when. The bastard got what he deserves. I had to put boiling water inside my anus for a month because of him. Some folks have it even worse. For example, one guy became so lucky he now finds canned goods everywhere he goes. Yet his endurance is low and his stomach is so weak he just vomits everything back. And when he doesn't, he gets blood in his farts. So no help is needed. I am simply keeping a list of victims. I take what they can spare and share it with those who have it the worst. Look, buddy, what you told me isn't even possible. Plus you're saying you don't have any charisma, yet you're a leader of a whole victim society. Quit making yourself think you're worthless. The man pouts. It's not Christian to poke fun of victims, friend. Okay. Just a few more questions. The man answers you with an annoying, boring, droning noise reminding you of nails scraping along a chalkboard. Why do people try to chase you away? The man answers without any emotion in his voice. Don't you see I have no charisma? Dios mío, thank you for saying that. I wanted to say it since I first saw you, but did not want to offend. Ugh. Wow, that's some self-deprecation right there, boyo. You don't even want to answer the man anything else. Where are you from, bud? A monotone, emotionless voice that you could hear could be mistaken for a digitally synthesized facsimile, but the unlikable man before you is obviously not a machine. I'm from a region called the Belovev Wasteland. It didn't suffer too much in the bombings, but some beasts did mutate, especially the bears. But there's nothing interesting or fun in listening about hideous mutated bears. I know because you look bored. It's not the bears, dude, it's your emotionless droning. What do you do for a living? Like I told you, I represent a victim society. Each month, every victim of the cynical Doc Veselov gives me whatever they can spare. It is then divided between all of us equally. Right. Just don't cry about it. Any good rumors? I heard that Claudia has a lover who is also a member of the Chamber of Commerce. This is why she doesn't pay rent. What a story. Oh, wowie. Ugh. Intriguing. Well, I should leave. Good luck to you, buddy. So how do we... I know he's a fraud, dude. How do I... Do I pickpocket the... Hey, we don't kindly the thieves around these parts. Stop, I love this city and its people. Alright, that was a bad move. Guess everybody's coming to kill me now. Weird game freeze here. town is just coming after me. Oh, come on, man. Did my game freeze? Be right back. Alright, so I'm not sure what to do here. I kick this guy. Fidel's fighting me. Say you, sir. As you approach the militiaman, you notice some details that are pretty hard to see from far away. There's something queer in the man's body proportions. His hands look a little longer than normal. His gait has too much spring in it. Even his pants are strange since there is an extra fold of cloth sewn into them. When the man notices you, he asks you with a deep yet kind voice, "What is the matter, little one? Got a kitten lost in a tree? Or maybe your kite is stuck in the telephone wires. Just tell Daddy Longlegs, he'll come around ASAP." Daddy Longlegs, is that even your real name? Nah, it's a nickname the little ones gave me, just like Uncle Giraffe and Comrade Telegraph Pole. The old people who took me in as an orphan named me Stepan Stepanovich Stepanov. But I don't like that name. Too long. We're both people of usual height. How come you call me little? The man looked surprised for a second, as if he only now realized he spoke too much. Oh, sorry, you know. I love this city so much, I think of its people as if they were my kids. That's why I call you all little ones, because I care for you and love you. Oh, come on, buddy. We both know that's not the whole truth. Trust me. The man shakes his head. I told you the truth. Don't bother me about it no more. Okay, another question then. What have you heard around the city? I heard that our enemies in Paragon lack morals and common sense so much they made a place for dogs to fight one another to the death. Why, those bastards, I'd throw them to the ring for the poor old doggies to chew on and tear them apart. I should probably visit that place. What are these people? Cryptocurrency. Before you stands a man of middle height and uncertain age wearing old sports uniform. His face is covered with a red rag. First off, you believe him to be a typical bandit like those people you're likely to meet outside of large towns and cities. You change your mind once you catch the man's gaze, not angry and cold, but indignant and perplexed. This moment he starts talking to you. Why does everyone look at me funny? I'm just trying to stay anonymous. Also, there's dust here and it stings my face like all hell. Don't you get crap from local authorities? You look like a bandit after all. Let them try and abuse me. I'm a citizen and I won't stand for harassment. The man lifts up his face rag to spit on the ground. If you want to see real bandits, go over there. Damn thieves. Mr. Sweet Talk and his crypto retard buddy. The strange man nods in the direction of an eccentric couple that also spends time in the market square. A man wearing slippers and a bathrobe, as well as a man wearing a karate gi. What did they do? Who are they? The man looks at the couple with hatred in his eyes. These guys are called Piovaris and Pilulkin. If you try talking to them, it may seem they're drunk or high, but they're actually scammers. You want to know? Talk to my friend over here. I see. Before you is a man in a custom-made mask. He looks around and speaks to his friend from time to time, but you notice that his attention is kept on a strange couple of men in the other part of the market. Oh, a new face on the market. Listen up. Beware of those two guys. No matter what they offer you, don't take it. Their currency is a lie. As you speak, the man points towards a bathrobe-wearing person and a man wearing a kimono. Don't you listen to those two ever. It won't be just you who will suffer. It will also be your wealth. Perhaps even your psyche. We fell for their tricks, so now we're here thinking what we should do to save our hides and our village. By the way, if you'd help us out, we'd reward you. I'd say that all revolves around what you want me to do. Speak up. The man clenches his fist in utter rage. We came here to buy grain for the needs of our people from the deep woods, and it would all work out too if it wasn't for those meddling comm men over there. Here we are pulling a ton of grain on our backs, and they come for us. They say, comrades, what would you say if I told you there's no need to haul this grain all the way to the village? You can switch it for cryptocurrency and then trade it back for grain when you're closer to home. Then they present us with garbage like buttons, pucks, bottle caps, and such, and tell us we could exchange our grain for this junk. And when we're closer to our village, we just need to find a cryptocurrency dealer who will take all the garbage and give us back the grain. Buttons and caps are easy to carry around the woods, so we fell for it. We sealed the deal. Let me guess, nobody uses the cryptocurrency. That's right, nobody. Nobody takes those buttons seriously. Everyone just laughs at us. We were even chased out of a store. But wait, there's more. We came back to those two jokers. They already sold the grain for rubles. There's nothing we can do right now without starting a fight that would get us kicked out of town or jailed. But you're a fresh face. Maybe you could talk to them and help us get our money or grain back. Ever thought of telling the guards? We did, but they look at us suspiciously as it is. And what should we tell them? That we sold our goods for buttons and bottles caps? Nothing will come out of it. Fine, I'll help you. Stay here. Damn, thank you. We'll reward you as much as we can. Hope so. Alright, fellers. Before you stands a thin, tall man wearing a bathrobe and some slippers. Upon seeing you, he livens up. Oh, hello. Please ask me how... I know that you are a person deeply interested in learning of modern crypto technologies. Shut it. I'm here for the guys you stole from. The man takes a few steps away from you. You're talking about those masked barbarians, huh? We never stole from them. Their money are in a much safer place nowadays, and they will be spent for the glory of progress. Or for finding a new assistant for our cause. Entering the crypto market asks for commercial risk, and they knew it. If I won't help them, they'll go to the guards. You really up for that kind of trouble? Success. The men look at one another. Krasno Znameni is way too good a platform to give it up because of some idiots. We don't want trouble with the guards. Here, have this for the grain they gave us. And we're going to lay low for a while until some changes occur in the industry. The bathrobe man hands you a bunch of cash as his partner eyes the transaction with regret. Good choice. Now get the hell out of the city. Shame on you. See them run? Wow, so what happened? I decided not to harm them, but I got your money back. Don't fall for stuff like that anymore. The man lifts his mask, showing his face disfigured by worry. My brother, and I thought children will walk around our village home looking at my head stuck on a pike. Thank you so much. The man shakes your hand and his partner gives you a tight hug. We shall never forget this. If you're ever in our neck of the woods, we will help you no matter what. And here, have this gun. Rabbit didn't want to give it up, but he will now since you're such a great person. Thanks for the gun. Good luck, guys. A gun. And I'm encumbered. It's a rusty rifle. We still can't use it. He's got a bag and a tubika and Central Asian cap. Bears some superficial resemblance to the yurt, another Central Asian cultural icon. carry these guns? They're heavy. What are your cheeses? A mustache man looks at you with a kind smile, urging potential customers to his counter and constantly rearranging his goods to make them look more attractive. Hey there, come have a look please. You wanted to buy something? We have many riches here. Well, not really. I want to ask you a couple questions. Okay, let's talk. What can you say about Krasno-Znameni? It's a beautiful city, populated by decent people. What else can anyone wish for? A happy family, nothing more. Well noticed. How's the trade? Are there many customers? A steady flow. Everything's selling like hot pies. Hurry up while there's still something left. What will you buy when it's all gone? You'll be annoyed, and no seller wants to see an annoyed customer. I see you're really popular. Do you come from Krasno-Znameni? No, I'm from the north. My family had moved here when famine broke out. People ate each other like praying mantises. Sounds terrible. Tell me recent rumors. Have you heard there's a good barbecue shop in Paragon? That's to the north from here. I wanted to work there. I know a thing or two about good barbecue, but they didn't accept me. This is kind of weird. They're a loss. Alright. Corned meat. Oh, I have 3 corned meat. Now the question is, am I allowed to come in these buildings? Like this one? Or are they gonna label me a thief when I walk in here? Oh, no one's around. Doesn't matter. Oh, we talked to her. Him. I mean, obviously that's a fraud, but I don't know how to expose it. Seems like our work here is done. I can't talk to Alexander Soblin. Head back to Otranoy. Fend off the slave attack. I need to team up with Ludmilla, the sniper who was last seen in the gas station fortress. To fend off the attack, I need Major Pronin, who's in the Borderland fortress. Constantine, an infiltration specialist, was last seen near Otranoy. I don't know what to do here. What if I rest for 12 hours, see what happens? Let's eat some corned meat. We unlocked it. The owner of the mummy has barely poured his drinking buddy. Alright, wait a minute. pool area. Alright. I don't want to rest for 12 hours. Let's rest for 6, 15, 20, which would be what? 3 o'clock. Okay, let's eat some corned meat. It's 6 o'clock. Alright, let's see what we can buy here. So let's make a save here. The owner of the mummy has barely poured his drinking buddy, who looks rather similar to the father of the proletariat, V.I. Lenin, a glass of smelly potato moonshine when you put an end to this idyllic picture in the most unceremonious manner. Both men flinch and look at you with a mixture of fear and confusion. The ginger-bearded man is the first to come around. We are closed during the night. Leave before I call the guards. Call them. They too will be interested to see you here drinking with your exhibit. No, I won't call them. Alright, you busted us, but please don't reveal this secret to our competitors, especially not to that wench, fortune teller Sarah. Ready to take your secret to my grave for a certain remuneration. Yes, I understand. Just one moment. The man starts rummaging under the table with a sarcophagus on it, finally retrieves a wooden box. He sighs bitterly and gets 100 rubles from it. Here, have this. That's all we can give you. Just don't give away our secret, please. Tough luck, mate. Sooner or later all secrets must come to light. That's how I was brought up. Damn, I can see you've got a kind heart. Please, I'm begging you. I'll think about it. See you later, schemers. Take your 100 rubles. Deal with my problem, handsome? Be a darling. I don't trust this crook. You are right not to. His so-called mummy is just some drunkard. The woman throws her hands up and even jumps with excitement. Haha, I knew it. I knew it. That's it. They're not getting to Krasno-Znameni now. They won't be stomping it street with their fat feet. You did me a real favor, handsome. A real good favor. I was happy to help. What else is there to say? Friendship is a good thing, but don't forget about the money. Yes, right. Here's some money, handsome. Aja Pukar. It means you're welcome. The gypsy hands you 200 rubles. Having looked around her stuffy booth, you realize she can hardly give you any more. Alright, to hell with it. Give it here. Well, that's sorted. Instead of an answer, fortune teller Sarah gives you a gesture and wait and runs out of her booth. Quite soon she is back with a gloating smile on her face. They won't be tricking people anymore. I made them leave. Thank you once again, handsome. I bow to the ground to you. Yeah, I guess I'll go now. Keep telling your fortunes to people. Awesome. Alright, so I guess we head back to Otradnoy. Maybe call this episode a day. Start a fresh one. We'll see what happens when we get out here. So Paragon is north. It must be up here somewhere. Abandoned factory. Let's see what's in here. Have I been here? This is where the hermit resides. Oh, dead man. No, enter. Another dead skeleton. 12 rounds. A knife. I need a flashlight. Lantern battery, fork. Encumbered? Why? My strength is 1? Minus 150 radiation, so I should drink a vodka. Scrap metal. Radiated trunk, and I already have alcoholism. I had to get rid of that radiation. So some dead people. Alright. Overloaded inventory. I'm encumbered? Now I'm encumbered. Strength 1. I need to get healed of my sicknesses quickly. Alright, I'm going to end my episode here. Say thank you for joining me for episode 4. In the next one, we'll figure things out and head back to Otradnoy and do some quests, and also hit up these border stations along the way, these fortresses, and try to fend off the slaver attack on Otradnoy. So we'll take care of that. And I will see you then. So if I get some likes, then I'll keep making the videos. If you don't like, then I might stop. But I'm enjoying the game, so I'm going to keep making videos, probably. So I will see you then in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. So long.